a Colorado native, Mr. Mark Osgeist.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Colorado. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, we all know how important this election is. And before I get started too far down the road, I want to thank all the vets out there. Thank you all. Thank you very much. There's one man I want to kind of point out. Mr. Wolf, where are you at? Back over here. Hey, sir. Mr. Wolf is a World War II veteran. Very highly decorated. He has 4 Purple Hearts. So that means he was wounded 4 separate times. You know, Mr. Wolf, and there's another guy I want to point out as somebody who fought beside me that night. He's a hometown hero, and that's Chris Tonto Peranto. Another Colorado native, and as well as him is John Tig Tigan. He was there with me as well, and he's another one from Colorado. So, what that tells me is we're raising them right here in Colorado. We're raising the warriors of this world, past generations and next. And our warriors, those that are out there fighting, who have fought for what we swore to uphold, and that's the Constitution of the United States of America. When we become veterans and we get out of the military, that doesn't change. I myself never denounced that oath, so even to this day, I'm fighting for that. That's one reason why I'm here talking to Americans, going across the country, because I think our Constitution is under threat with Hillary Clinton. Just like that night, as we were under attack, I think the Constitution is our way of life, the way our Western lands are, and those values that we hold near and dear to our heart are under attack, and we have to take back this country come November 8th. We have to get out. We have to bring everybody Everybody has to get out and vote. We have to do that. We have to vote for Donald Trump, because he's the one who's going to make America great again. He's the one that's going to lead this country into the next generation and ensure our children are taken care of. So I want to thank everybody in Colorado. I mean, you know, every place I go, it's just good to be back home into Colorado. You guys are great. Everybody gives us that warm welcome. And I am just so proud to be from Colorado. I'm so proud to have the friends of Coloradoans, and we're going to get out there, take back this country. We're going to make it great again, because Donald Trump's going to be the kind of person I want to get behind, who I want as our leader to take us into that next generation and to make sure that we have this country the way we want it, the way we were raised. Thank you very much. God bless you all. Let's do it. Thank you.
We also had a little video. Don Jr. loves Colorado. He spent some time here. And even though I'm from Utah, he said, look, John Denver was a favorite song. I guess he'd rather be in Colorado. We had some pictures of Don that got knocked out. But I can just tell you, having had the honor to work with this family for a year, to spend a night in a hunting camp, love America, tough as nails, smart as heck. They're one of us. Let's give Donald Trump Jr. a welcome to Colorado.
is truly amazing. I have to say I'm just very humbled to have this kind of reception. It means a lot to me. What many of the people in this room probably don't know is that I actually lived in Colorado. I was the first graduate of the Wharton School of Finance, where my father went to business school, to move to Colorado to be a bartender. You can imagine how that conversation went. That was one of the more awkward moments of my life. But I did it because I love the great outdoors. I love being out here. I'm an avid outdoorsman, hunter, fisherman, competitive shooter, and I love everything that the West has to offer. So I did that wanting to make sure that if I was one day working in an office, going to be working at 2 o'clock on a Saturday morning, closing a deal, that I had experienced the other side. And I did that here, and I continue to have great friends to this day. And I continue to bring my family here, now that I have 5 kids. I know. It's a lot of work, and I don't see them as much as I'd like these days on the campaign trail. But my wife's doing an incredible job taking care of them. But they're all growing up to be outdoors men and women as well, because I know what the outdoors did for me. I know the trouble it kept me out of, and I'm not saying I was always an angel. Okay? I'm not saying that. But the outdoors was so good to me that I want them to grow up in the mud, on ATVs, with guns. And candidly, I want to make sure we preserve the great American tradition that is the outdoors, that is hunting, that is fishing. If I could get any kid off of a couch, away from a video game and into the woods, I'm doing them a major service for life. So I'd like to thank all the guys up here on the stage, and Mark, thank you for everything that you've done for this country. For me, Mark and I got to spend some time in hunting camp this year together. That's
awesome.
That's a real American hero. And Mark was one of the early adapters to our campaign, back when we were still told by everyone that we would have, I think, what was the number at the time when you came on board, Mark? I think we had zero chance? Zero chance, I think. The experts said zero, which goes to show you how much the experts know.
That's why we don't listen to the experts.
We don't listen to the experts anymore. So, you know what? But it was amazing. You were an early adapter because, I think you know that we'd never leave you in a situation like you were left. We wouldn't do that for any American. So I appreciate your support. It's been an honor to get to know you, and I think, after spending about 10 days together in a Yukon hunting camp, I think we know each other pretty well. It's some tight quarters. But you know what? When I got to know Mark, we had zero chance. But you know what? The American people knew we had a lot better chance than that. The hard-working men and women of this country who've been left in the dust, the people who've been forgotten, the people who haven't had a voice in a long period of time, you know what? They knew we had a chance. They've been watching us and following us and helping us along the way. And it's been incredible. So much so that just this week alone, I was told that we broke the all-time record for the Republican Party in small dollar donations. Of all the things that we've been able to do in this campaign, that I've been so honored to be able to be a part of, that to me meant more than anything. Because you know what? That $63 average donation, incredible, right? That $63 average donation meant a lot more to that family than the $1 million donation from some partner at Goldman Sachs who wrote the check to Hillary Clinton. To me, that said everything we didn't know about this movement. And it is a movement. It's not a campaign anymore, okay? I'm not even a candidate. I'm not even a politician, and look at what we're able to draw here. But the hardworking men and women of this country, they've been forgotten. They've seen their jobs shipped abroad. They've seen everyone around D.C. get rich. The richest zip codes in the country have, huddled around D.C. while the rest of America hasn't had a pay raise effectively in 20 years. Well, that's not going to happen anymore.
Yes.
We're going to bring jobs back to America. We're not going to ship them abroad. We're going to make it so companies can invest in America and create that kind of growth. Just think of what we could do if everyone in America had a good job, they had the dignity of hard work, what that would do to family structure, which has been broken up all over the country. What we could then possibly do for education. And we're number 30 in education behind a long list of third world countries because of bureaucrats in Washington. We can't let that happen anymore. We have to fix that. We're going to give you guys a voice again. Thank you. Thank you. Now, what's been great about this race is all the places where we're all of a sudden overperforming. And again, we're not just competing against a candidate. We're competing against a candidate. We're competing against Wall Street. We're competing against Hollywood. And we're especially competing against the media. But you know what? That's okay. Because again, you guys get it. You guys understand it. And it's an honor to be a part of it. It's sort of ironic, that the guy from New York, the billionaire from New York, is actually the champion of the people. It's also sort of ironic that the billionaire from New York is actually the David in the David and Goliath scenario that we're up against. But like that story, we too will prevail. It's funny now as I watch and I see the momentum continue to build. You see the poll numbers where we're either tied in places we're not supposed to be tied, we're ahead in places we're not supposed to be ahead, and trending in the right direction. That's just amazing. And it's because of people like you. It's the organic campaign that we're running. So in all of this, because we've been having that conversation with the American people, not at the American people. And that's the difference. That's what Washington has forgotten. They've lectured you, they've made promises, they've done everything. And guess how many times they've delivered? 0. It's time to actually put someone in office who has created a job, who's actually done it. I'm not talking about theory, the magical unicorn that all these politicians talk about when they talk about job creation. Oh, it's so easy. We push our magic button and jobs just miraculously appear. Well, it's not so simple. It takes someone who's actually signed the front of a paycheck to do that. Someone who's actually had tens of thousands of people, their families and their livelihoods dependent on the success of him and his company. And my father's done that. And he wants to bring that common sense. Common sense, you'd think common sense just based on the words. You'd think it'd be common. You'd think we'd see it a little bit more often than we do, but we haven't. We've pushed it away. We've pushed it out of the lexicon. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist in DC for sure. And I've seen that here, especially in Colorado. Like I said when I started off, I had the privilege of living here for a long time. I've seen the boom times and I've seen the less than boom times. When I've seen all your jobs, whether it be in coal, whether it be in gas, again, shipped abroad or eliminated due to excessive regulation. But we're going to get rid of that excessive regulation. The bureaucrats giving themselves jobs, creating their own problems so that they can solve it and nothing else gets done. Because it's not just the job in the energy sector that's gone when they do that and they make it impossible. It's all the other jobs below that. The person at the diner feeding those people, the educators, everything. We have to start thinking about it. We have to utilize our natural resources rather than being beholden and dependent on countries that can't stand us simply because they make large... Simply because they make large contributions to foundations somewhere. I don't get it. We're sick of seeing the American people sold out. We're going to make sure that we can take advantage of our natural resources. that we can keep our public lands open for the outdoorsmen, which... And by the way, we can have the best of all worlds in that. We can have grazing, we can have energy, and we can have hunting and fishing on the same lands. We can multi-purpose these lands, and we can do it in a way that's smart, that preserves them, and everybody wins. We can see some of that prosperity come back to this country. Because when we do that, we can eliminate so many of the issues that we've all faced, so many issues that you are also frustrated with. And I see it now. As I said, I'm just a small cog in this wheel. I'm just happy to be a part of it. And I go around the country and I see people, all walks of life, all ethnicities, all backgrounds, despite what everyone else would like you to believe, all of those backgrounds. And they come up to me. And first of all, the one I get usually, which is perhaps the most surprising, is, "Thank you for allowing your father to do this." I'll take the credit, guys. I'll take the credit, but I don't know that I had any control over it. I don't know that I had any control of it, but they're just thankful that we're doing this and injecting common sense back into the dialogue. But these are people, unlike in past elections where it's purely partisan and one person votes this way, these are hardworking, blue-collar, Democratic union voters. Men and women who built this country in the Rust Belt that have seen their jobs shipped abroad. They're union bosses. They've been bought and paid for by the Democrats for decades, but they get it. And they're coming up to me all over the place, telling me, "Hey, guess what?" I'm saying, "Oh boy, here I get to get a lecture." And they're saying, "No, we're voting for your dad." Because you know why? Because they know he doesn't need this job. They know he does not need this job. He took this task on against all odds, put $65 million of his own money into this campaign on a, zero-shot bid, according to the experts, They should all lose their jobs, but that's a different story. We'll try to, we don't want to create more unemployment, but maybe with them we'll make an exception. According to the experts. But he did that because he's a patriot. Because he loves this country, and he wants everyone to have the same opportunities that his children, myself, my brother, my sister, he wants everyone and their children to be able to have those same opportunities that we've been blessed with. He knew he was going to take heat. He knew he was going to be stoned. He knew all this was going to happen. But he did it anyway, because he loves this country, and he wants to make sure that you all have those same opportunities. I wish. Thank you. By the way, isn't it nice that we could start with a prayer, with a pledge of allegiance? Isn't it nice to see people respect that? The national anthem. We got the trifecta. I love that. So that's the bottom line. He's doing this because he loves this country. He knows he can fix it. I've seen him do it for 40 years. He'll take something, make it better. He sees where the chokeholds are, the gridlock is, and he eliminates it. He'll create jobs, and he's doing it for the American people. Not because he needs this job, not because that's his family business, that's how he's made millions and hundreds of millions like perhaps our opponents. He's doing this because he loves this country, and he wants everyone to have the same opportunity to build a great family, to build a great business, to lead a great lifestyle that we've all been blessed with here. So thank you very much. God bless America, and let's make it great again. Thank you. Thank you. enjoy yourselves, okay? Come on, go have some fun. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, check out the Heartland for Trump video, because again, when this started, by the way, this was supposed to be a couple small outdoorsmen. Apparently we're, I guess I'm a bigger draw than I would have ever thought. So again, that's very humbling. But to the outdoorsmen that this started off with, thank you so much. To all the sportsmen, make sure you get out and make your voice heard. You can move mountains here in the West. The hunting and fishing community. If you get out there, the 200,000 elk hunters in Colorado, if you get out there and vote, know that we're there to preserve that tradition. For your kids and grandkids, know that we're there to preserve the Second Amendment. We're going to do all of that. But make sure you cast your ballots. I know in Colorado it's by mail, and on some of the other states, it's different ways. Reach out to your friends. Let them know that we're outdoorsmen. Let them know that we're fishermen. Let them know that we're hunters. And let them know that we're with you, and we're going to make sure those traditions remain. We're going to keep our public lands public and accessible, and we're going to utilize them right. So, again, thank you so much. It's awesome to be back in Colorado. I always feel like I'm home here. I'm just a little bit upset that I didn't get to go fishing or hunting or anything this time. This is work. Believe it or not, this is work. But because of this kind of support, it makes it so much easier. It makes it so much more fun that, not always so easy for a non-politician, even though I may have stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night, to speak without notes. But it's coming from the heart because we really believe in what we're saying here and what we're doing here. So please help us get that message out there. Get everyone there. We've really mobilized America. You guys aren't the basket of deplorables. You're the people I want to be with in a foxhole. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.